It's 11 a.m. here in Seoul. I'm Yoon Jung-min at the Arirang News Center. We are breaking into our regular programming for a live briefing from the South Korean health authorities on the coronavirus outbreak. We will be crossing over to the briefing with simultaneous interpretation in English. Today, South Korea reported 362 new cases of COVID-19. All but 17 were locally transmitted, most of which are concentrated in the capital area. Seoul reported 131 new cases and almost 100 in Gyeonggi-do province. The government has announced this morning that they will allow restaurants and other businesses in the capital area to open until 10 p.m. The government last week eased business operating hours until 10 p.m. in non-capital areas. Private gatherings of more than 4 people are still banned. The government has also eased social distancing to level 2 in the capital area and level 1.5 in other regions. The South Korean Prime Minister said this morning the public cannot let their guards down yet and asked people to abide by strict disease prevention measures. The briefing is just about to start. Listen in.
Let us now begin our regular briefing. I am Gw't, Vice Head 1 of the Central Disaster and Safety Countermeasures Headquarters. As of today midnight, we have 345 new local infections, and we also had 7 additional fatalities. I extend my deepest condolences to the deceased and the members of the bereaved families. From the 17th to 13th of February, we have seen average domestic infections hovering around 353. And this is about similar to that of the previous week. And overall, in the non-metropolitan area, we are seeing a stable downturn of the COVID-19 cases. In the metropolitan area, we are seeing a slowdown in the downturn. Nevertheless, we have been seeing that for the 2 straight weeks nationwide, we have our daily cases have hovered around 300, meaning the lower threshold below the level 2.5. And we also see that this is also under such a threshold, and we still see many cluster infections stemming from family gatherings as well as office spaces, and also related to these places of worship, including the Victory Altar as well as I Am Mission Group. And we believe that it is very important that we have a strict control of these containment measures at these specific venues. And with the prolonged battle against COVID-19, we are seeing higher level of fatigue among the public as well as challenges on their livelihoods. Moreover, with the gathering ban as well as the business restrictions, we are seeing many people, especially those in the micro business owners as well as self-employed, seeing great challenges. And to this end, the government will be announcing our adjustment to these social distancing measures. We have been closely working together with the local governments as well as related associations. And in order to help these associations of these micro business owners and the self-employed, we have also, they have asked us to ease such regulations based on the condition that they will comply strictly with the quarantine measures. And we also had many experts who also say that we are seeing a need to adjust such measures. And also the same was given upon the local governments. And based on such comprehensive comments, the government has decided to downgrade the current social distancing restrictions. In the metropolitan area, we will be downgrading the level from 2.5 to level 2. And in the non-metropolitan area, we'll be easing to level 1.5 from level 2. And this will be put in place for the next 2 weeks, starting from the 15th of February to 28th of February. And with this measure, we believe that we also will have eased operation hours for many social, many micro business owners, including restaurants, cafes, singing rooms, as well as other PC rooms and other venues. And in the metropolitan area as well, those cram schools, beauty salons, and theaters, PC rooms, as well as these the large-scale retail shops, we will also be easing the restriction hours. And the restaurants and cafes and indoor gyms we also will be extending the business operation hour by 1 hour to 10 p.m. And this will be carried out for these next from Monday, and we will also allow the nightlife entertainment establishments to also operate until 10 p.m. in the metropolitan area as well, and as long as they comply strictly with antivirus measures. And we will also, however, have strengthened monitoring and inspection of these violations. And if they violate, we will be immediately giving them a gathering ban for the next 2 weeks, as well as a penalty. And as for the managers and users who have breached such antivirus measures, they will also be faced with indemnification. And in order to minimize the gatherings, to minimize the cluster infections stemming from gatherings, we will be retaining the current gathering ban on all private gatherings of 5 or more people. Nevertheless, we will also be having exceptions for immediate family members as well as other sports events. And we will also intensify our quarantine measures for other virus-vulnerable facilities. As for the nursing hospitals and long-term care centers, we will be carrying out our regular mass testings for the residents and staff members. And we will also be intensifying our measures for all of the non-regular places of worship, as well as the dormitories and other facilities that they run. And these are also inevitable based on our risks of third wave. If we do see another spike of infections, we will have no other choice but to strengthen the regulations once again. This morning, our Prime Minister has stressed that we will be boldly switching from a forceful business shutdown to a voluntary participation in antivirus measures. So we have the pledge from the micro business owners as well as the self-employed, which is very crucial going forward. So as for the public, we also ask you to refrain from going to crowded, confined places, and please wear your face mask at all times and wash your hands on a regular basis. And all of the multi-use facilities and business operations need to ventilate your space and disinfect areas on a regular basis as well. And as for the users, you should also refrain from going to virus-vulnerable facilities. Last but not least, as for churches, prayer houses, as well as other places of worship, please comply with these measures strictly. The regular worships can be also operated on a physical manner with a capacity of the attendance. However, we ban all of the gatherings that involve meals and also accommodations. And also we ask for and we thank you for your cooperation up until now. However, as for the places of worship that did not comply with these measures or have other breaches of these measures, they will be facing stern legal measures. Together with the local governments, we will make sure that we contain the virus. Thank you very much.
That wraps up our coverage of the briefing this morning. Thank you for staying with us. We will be back with our regular newscast at 12 p.m. Korea time. Goodbye.
Korea is in the midst of its third wave of COVID-19. Frontline medical workers are fighting COVID-19 in the free